You're alive. It's nice to have somebody tell you you're alive. Michael Amante, Christopher Smith. Sorry about the crazy text before. Chris, I missed them totally. I'll get to them later. Hi, Bowie. Shigeru Suzuki. Nick Santa Maria. Oh, God, I better watch myself. Nick Santa Maria is the only person who ever put a word into one of my songs. And Nick, if you stick around, I might have to do it now. I'll have to do it because I want to get to that word. You're the only person who ever got a word into my songs. And I had a very famous songwriter come up to me one time who was kind of drunk and made a whole lot of suggestions about words that I could use at the end of a certain song. And I didn't want to tell him that I had thought of all of them and thrown them out, just discarded them. Not that he was right or wrong, but I had thought of all of them and said, no, that's not going to work. But Nick Santa Maria, who was actor, comedian, man about town, and all that. So here's the song that Nikki and I wrote sitting backstage at the Triad Theater in New York on 72nd Street. If I can remember how it goes. Yes. See, this song got written because I was imagining coming back from Europe with everything that you shouldn't have. And the customs people going nuts. Here I am in customs, inexplicably detained. And from getting angry, I will have to be refrained. Yes, I've read the regulations. What could the problem be? Why, oh, why are you detaining me? Okay, perhaps I did pick up a couple things abroad, but this kind of harassment really ought to be outlawed. You're making such a big deal over minuscule details. So much fuss about a box of snails. Yes, I have been in Nairobi raising sheep and cattle. Yes, I read the regulations, all that pointless prattle, but so much fuss and bother about a bag of soil. Frankly, you're making my blood boil. I've got 2 alligators from the hot Brazilian swamps, a testy little chimpanzee that screeches, bites, and stomps, an otter from the Maldives, a goat from Kathmandu, a cockroach from a hut in Timbuktu, a little baby llama from the mountains of Tibet, 6 or 7 ostrich eggs that have not hatched quite yet, mosquitoes from Botswana, a parrot from Peru, and you won't let me through. You confiscate my passport. Now that is such a drag. Just because you found a couple earthworms in my bag. I read the regulations. What could the problem be? Oh, why are you detaining me? Now you're getting all upset. I do not understand. This is just a Paraguayan pigeon perching on my hand. These are just some monkey droppings I found in Zaire. And now you won't come near. You want to check my briefcase? Go ahead now, please. What are those? Nothing. Persian bugs and fleas. A little Irish whiskey, some camembert from France, turtles, killer bees, and fire ants. I bring back some souvenirs and you all get so frantic. Like maybe I should throw them all right into the Atlantic. I've read the regulations. What could the problem be? Why, oh, why are you detaining me? Why, oh, why are you detaining me? Why, oh, why are you detaining me? turtles, killer bees, and fire ants. Those were Nick's contributions. I remember exactly when they came. We were sitting backstage at the Triad Theater. We had a little alcove. He and I had a little, almost like a closet we dressed in for the show. Secrets every smart traveler should know. And I couldn't find it. And he said, turtles, killer bees, and fire ants. And Nikki, that has stuck, and you've not made a penny from it, because I've not made a penny from it. Anyway, nice, Nick. Woke up one morning in a gray and cold motel room. Did not know where I was at all. It took a while for I could remember. It was the 13th of September. Outside was the first cold day of fall. I worked late last night. The party went to 5 a.m. I must have played the same songs 50 times. The people had the time of their lives. The men all danced with each other's wives. Bartenders pour their drinks and squeeze their limes. And we played society music. So sweet society music. Play the songs the people want to hear. Old step, a new step, foxtrot and a two-step. All the songs of yesteryear. Party comes to order. We start off with cold porter. The people dance. They're never shy. High society dancing. It's more like thoroughbreds and horses prancing around the ring to catch the judge's eye. The party, oh yeah, the ladies in their latest fashion. The men conceal their passion. They drink and they dance the night away. The music's fast and cheerful. No net. The music, fast music. Oh, the music's fast. The music's fast and cheerful. The men and women, they whisper earfuls, but somehow I never hear a word they say. Because I'm busy with society music. Oh, sweet society music. Play the songs that people want to hear. Old step, new step, foxtrot, two-step. Oh, the songs of yesteryear. Finally comes the dawn. Whoops. The evening drags on by. You get so tired that you could cry. Cannot wait to climb down off that stand. Finally comes the dawn. The trumpet player's chops are gone. And it's time to close that Steinway Grand. It's time to go home. But I'm too tired to roam. I've got to find myself a motel and go to bed. So I find myself a place, lock my car and I grab my bass and I go inside, lay down my weary head. And I dream about society music, sweet society music. Play the songs that people want to hear. Dream about the party and the fancy trimming. Dream about all those dancing women and the songs of yesteryear. Society music. Oh, society music. the songs people up here dream about, dream about, dream about. Oh my heavens. Confusing myself by looking at the lyrics. Society music. Oh, society music. Play the songs the people want to hear. Dream about the rich people and their riches, and I dream about all those fancy songs of yesteryear. All the songs of yesteryear. Bum, 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 boom. That's why I don't like to read lyrics. Because if you don't go back to the right place, you'll screw it up. And I've never performed that song, but I've known it forever. Let me see, Dr. Judas. The clock is going backwards. No, we all fall down, continue a rabbit hole some time ago, but really, which clock is going backwards? There's no clock. The clock is going backwards. Hi on YouTube too. Bo, you're just Douglas Romanov. Sounds and looks good. Now I am just personally struggling. What are you personally struggling about, Doug? There you are, huzzah. Bill Crow. Hi on both channels. Bill always ups me. Yes, I know. Bill always one-ups me. He does. He does. He's very clever. Bill is very clever. Let me do that. That's good. Today, I was really kind of struck because the guy I've known forever, Lee Konitz, passed away this week. Right here, Lee. Can everybody see it? Sorry. I'm sure you see it. And there he is with Miles, and that's Lee in the middle. There's Miles, Lee, and there's Jerry Mulligan. And I actually got to play with both Lee and Jerry Mulligan. Never played with Miles, but I did talk to him once. How's that? Is that good? Talk to him. Told you that story. I told him. He was in Saratoga. I was in Saratoga too with Mel Torme. And Miles walked up after a set, and I said, "Hello, Miles, Jay Leonhart." And he acted like he knew me. Go, "Oh, hi, Jay. How you doing?" He was very, very nice. And so I said, "Miles, you've just knocked my CD off the top 20 in Cashbox." So this is 1984. Mine was like the third CD that came out. So naturally, it was on the lists. And Miles looked at me and went, "Man, I'm sorry." And he was really sorry. All of a sudden, he got very sorry. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." Ooh. And he did walk away like that. And that's my only confrontation, my only time with Miles, although he lived 9 blocks. Let me see, 77, that'd be 11 blocks. 11 blocks south of me here. But Lee was quite something. And a very lovable man, indeed a lovable man. And just a brilliantly creative alto player. And I actually did a record with him called Dovetail. And I didn't think it was a very good record when we did it. But now it's getting great reviews. It's called Dovetail. I took a copy of it off the internet today, but it's all pretty yellow. And my printer, I'm getting a new printer, which we'll talk about in a second. But that's Dovetail. Yeah, what the hell. Billed as a Lee Konitz terzet, which is 3, I suppose. This fine set features Konitz and alto tenor, soprano, and even a vocal, plus pianist Harold Danko and bassist Jay Leonhart. Konitz states the liner notes that we played a club once a week, and we found a way to create nice arrangements on familiar tunes. That pretty well describes this music, for even the so-called originals by the trio have a close relationship. Blah, blah. The repertoire is certainly a bit offbeat for these modernists, particularly such songs as I Want to Be Happy, Sweet Georgia Brown, and Penthouse Serenade. But the musicians come in with fresh statements on all the tunes. A continually interesting set, like most of Lee Conant's recordings. That's nice. Dovetail. It's always nice to do what you thought was not a very good record. And all of a sudden, I mean, when is this? This is like almost 40 years ago. I think it was recorded it might have been recorded in the 70s. It might have been more than 40 years ago. And then the good reviews come in and they print them. And all of a sudden, look at that. And I didn't love my playing on that record. I didn't think it was out enough. I kept trying to keep the song going, as bass players will want to do. Meanwhile, everybody else is banging around and creating all kinds of crazy. And I knew it was very improvised and not well organized. And I thought, oh boy, and now it's getting great reviews. And how hard do we work with records and get no reviews at all? Anyway, Kenny Rampton is watching. Hi, Kenny. How are you? Stephen Goldberg. Too many musicians passing on right now due to. Yes, I know. I don't know if Lee had the virus. I think maybe he did. What's it say? Yeah, complications with the coronavirus. Yeah, so my grandson wants me to go out to Hope with him, which is Hope, New Jersey, which is 60 miles west of here. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go. New York is teeming with coronavirus right now, even though we're leveling off. The apex has been reached and we're leveling off. I just want to stay close to home. I don't want to get out there too much. I'm not going. I'm sorry, Vaughn. If you're looking, I'm sorry, I'm not going. We're not going. We'll have to find some other way to do it. Linda Young, hang tough, please. I will. Maestro, you can't play bad even if you want to. Oh boy. That's the way this. That's it. You can't play bad even if you want to. Well, I was sitting here earlier, just warming up, and I started playing a little piece in D minor that I said, I just treated it as though it were a total bass solo with a melody and everything. And now I want to see if I can come close to replicating that because it was fun. Good for the chops. key. But I never have the energy to do it in every key. I go up a half step, and if I'm lucky, that's where it ends up. Do it in every key, jeez. But I should do it in every key, but I'm not going to. So I don't really have any fancy pictures today. I do have my GD Bank credit card bill, though, but I'm not. You don't want to see that. Nice festive blue shirt today. Oh yes, is this blue? Festive. Compared to my usual black, it's very festive. I wanted you to know that the reason I wear black T-shirts is because there was a store on Broadway that sold them real nice T-shirts, and they sold them very cheap. They must have their T-shirt supply must have fallen off a truck someplace. And I every time I'd go by, I'd buy 2 or 3 of them, and all of a sudden I've got like 40 of them in my closet. My wife does not appreciate that because whenever she tries to stick a T-shirt in there, there's no room for it. But by the way, I bought a printer today. The Mill Hinton poster in your wall that we shot many years ago. Yes, that's it, Barry. Very good. Look, I'm not going to take it off the wall, but I will take you guys over to see it. It's kind of hard with all the reflection. I'm somewhere in there. Oh yeah, I'm behind the base. I'm behind the Colstein base case. Look how skinny I was in the blue shirt. And I can't name all the bass players who were there because I can't see them too well from here. Here's me and Les. Dun, 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 dun. And here's that poster I was talking about, Ray Brown. Can you see it? Oh, look at it. It's me and Ron. And there's my famous tribute, which was given to me by the Blue Note the week before they fired me, and didn't tell me about it. They just give me this nice plaque. Oh, you've done a swell job. I thought, oh, great, well, good for me. They really appreciate me. The next week I came in, and man, there was a big band on the stand, and all my musicians showed up. We didn't know we'd been fired, canned, let go, released, allowed to move on. It's a tough world. Bo Leonhart, a printer and paper. Oh yeah. Last night, my wife and I were fixing our printer, and we ruined it. It was a cheap printer. So today I got on my phone last night and I bought a really nice printer, except it doesn't scan. I put it all together, worked hard, downloaded all the software, and it's got no scanner in it. So now we got to take it back. Actually, we're not taking anything back. Staples will come by, pick it up, and we'll buy a better one. I'll spend a lot of money on this yet. I'll make sure we spend a lot of money. Nothing cheap about this. Christopher Lentz, nice poster. Christopher, did you hear my story about the printer? I bought one. Christopher was very involved in my printer pursuit, and I bought a bad one. I mean, it works fine, but it's got no copy. And my wife, God bless her, does our taxes. Don't tell anybody. She does our taxes. She and our accountant get together, and I've been audited 4 times in my life and never owed a dime because of those two. Me would be a different story. So I don't touch it. I don't get anything to do with it. She's very good. And she needs to make copies. And she needs a printer that will make copies. And that's the story. So we'll get one tomorrow. And I'll show it to you. The present printer is going to be leaving the house in the same box in which it arrived, in which it arrived. I hate putting things back in boxes like that. I just detest it, figuring out all the little plastic parts go. I'll be all day doing that. Just trying to get that. I'll probably stand on it and be jumping up on the printer and slamming it into the box. Here, take it. Take your box. Take your printer. Wrap it in tape and throw it down the stairs. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'll put it back correctly. I'll put it back properly. Yes, that's what I'll do. Remember Bob Ross? And we take a little painting and we put the red tree here. And, oh, isn't that a nice tree? Let's put green tree. That's how I'm going to be from now on. I'm going to be Bob Ross. And that's it. I've changed my whole persona. Sure. Okay. Request. There's going to be trouble. Oh, man. There's going to be trouble. Let me see if I have the lyric to that. I don't think I do. Let's see. I'm going to look it up on the computer. There's gonna be trouble. I can see it in the air. There's gonna be trouble. I can see it in the air. Only stand in the corner. Give me a nasty stare. There's gonna be trouble. I can see it in his face just because there's 3 people in the place. There's gonna be trouble. And I can't remember the rest of it. My computer doesn't even recognize it. Come on now. Because I'll do it if I can find the lyrics to it. J songless copy, J on this, songs for ASCAP, songs for this, songs for that. Ooh, I don't think there's going to be trouble. I don't think I have that anywhere. I'd have to take that off of the. I'd have to take that off the record. And big song list with lots of lyrics. I don't think it's going to be trouble is in there. Let's just take a look. I don't think it's going to be it though. Excuse me for a second. Brent Jensen, Linda White. We're looking up the lyrics to a song I wrote to see if, in fact, I can sing it. It's on one of my records. It's on one of them. Here it comes. I want to say, listen. There's a song called Skinny Waitresses, Thanksgiving Message. Skinny actresses. It's hard to take these movie actors seriously, especially when you see them in real life. They look so frail and fragile that you can't imagine them holding up under stress and strife. There's going to be trouble. Lonely Cowboy. Why don't you look with me? Dying. Oh, I did one called Dying Cherry Bomb. So, darling, before you leave me, darling, before you go, no. I don't think I have it. I put that on a record a long time ago and I've never performed it, but we'll get to that. Canon makes a nice, fast laser scanner and printer on Amazon for $160. Everybody got that? And it wasn't a Canon I bought. Really? $160 Amazon. Wonder how soon we could get it. Should we talk about yourself while we took up lyrics? Well, everybody talks about themselves, especially, what I really object to is when you start texting during the bass solos. I mean, that's just not respectful. That's somebody's joke. That was Russ Kassoff's joke. Oh, it's not there. There's lots of nice bridge. I'm going to leave that up. I'll leave that up and look at it later, but I can't do anything about it now. So, Rachel Maddow was on last night. She's adamant. We have a what do you call it, a nursery home or a retirement home up the street from us. And the ambulances are coming up there very regularly. And it's not a good thing. the older folks, of which I consider myself one, are not doing well. But they're in the I forget what you call them. Old age homes are. That's not the right word, but that's where they are. And boy, talk about the Petri dish. There it is. Let's see if I have any requests. Joshua Levine is like, I'm sorry, gang, I'm just not. Ted Rosenthal is watching. Oh, Lord, Ted Rosenthal. I've got to be careful now. Ted, we could Zoom this together. I'll play this in your honor, Ted, because Ted was the first piano player who really watched. Besides, Tony Bennett told me that this is my San Francisco. He said, if you're going to do one song, you got to do your San Francisco, he says. I said, what's that, Tony? The one about the airplane. Okay. Ted can play this arrangement in his sleep from 30 years ago. Take my seat aboard the plane, and what is this I see? Leonard Bernstein comes aboard and sits right next to me. First class, New York to LA, some things just work out right. I'll be sitting next to Leonard Bernstein this whole flight. True story. Maybe I should just act like I do not recognize him. Be real cool and do my best not to antagonize him. Now we're rolling down the runway. Next stop is LA. I am nonchalant like I ride next to Lenny every day. Naturally, I turn to him against my own advice. Introduce myself and find that Lenny's very nice. Soon we start to chat and drink and talk about our lives. We talk about our children and our wives. What a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. So we're sitting, chatting, drinking, talking like the very best of pals. Talking music, life and art, death and root canals. Now he's interrupting me, but really that's okay. Cause he's a lovely fellow and he's got a lot to say. I recite some songs I wrote, he recites them back. For poetry and music, he seems to have a knack. He tells me that his new show closed and now he's feeling beat. He's not used to dealing with defeat. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. What a lovely fellow, though, really, I must say. I forgot it. I totally forgot the song because I was so distracted. Distracted by thinking about, I can't remember what it was. Now I can't remember what it was, distracted by. But the fact that I couldn't remember that lyric. So we're chatting, drinking, talking like the very best about talking music, life, and art. Now he's interrupting me. Should I continue? Yes. Now he's interrupting. Now we're sitting, drinking, talking like the very best of pals. Talking music, life, and art, death and root canals. Now he's interrupting me, but really that's okay. Cause he's a lovely fellow and he's got a lot to say. I recite some songs I wrote, he recites them back. For poetry and music, he seems to have a knack. He tells me that his new show closed and now he's feeling beat. And he's not used to dealing with defeat. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. He does a London Times crossword, 10 minutes and he's through. He does a puzzle with his pen, I do not have a clue. What an intellectual, but a warm and friendly guy. We talk about the world below as we sail through the sky. Finally, I feel the airplane starting to descend, and I know this lovely day is coming to an end. But I trace the seatbacks up just like you're supposed to do. Land and bid my friend a fond adieu. Adieu. But what a lovely fellow, what a lucky day. Me and Lenny side by side, New York to LA. What a lovely fellow, though really I must say, I've not heard from Lenny since I left in LA. Not a goddamn word from Lenny since I left him in LA. In LA. In LA. In LA. That song there is a study in how not to present a song. First of all, one of the lyrics is messed up in my brain that I've known for years. Now we're sitting, drinking, talking like the very best. Now we're sitting, chatting, drinking, talking like something. I've got to go back and check what that is. And then I got to a place where I'm stumbling now on the bass because there was some kind of lick I used to play going from D minor to E minor. It goes from D minor and then it goes up a half whole step. And I forgot that. And the most important sin was I wasn't even paying attention to what the song was saying. It's so rote to me now that if you don't pay attention to it, you'll deliver it like it's rote. And I was reminded of James O'Neill, Eugene O'Neill's father, who got to playing the what was the play? Count of Monte Cristo. So often, that's all he could play in his life, and he would go out and do it drunk, and he was just drunk. But when you're not paying attention, you don't do the song justice, and people know it. People sense it. They feel it. That it's not really a very interesting song because the singer's not involved in it. And trust me, and for the first half of the song, I wasn't involved. I was just doing it. It was coming out, spewing out of my head like a phonograph. So it's a good lesson for me to learn that if you're not paying really attention to what you're saying, you're not really delivering the song. So it just goes to show you, it's a good little lesson to learn in front of 9,000 people, in front of all you Bruce Williams and Marty Morell and Benjamin Henkel and Bob Grabiner. What are you going to do? You mess up, you mess up. Loved it, Ren and Nick. Oh, you didn't love it. Hi, Jim. There's going to be trouble. There's going to be trouble. I can feel it in the air. There's going to be trouble. I can see it. The owner's giving me a nasty stare. There's going to be trouble. I can see in his face. Just because there's 3 people in the place, there's going to be trouble. I don't remember something about. I'll get it. It's kind of fun, and I don't like to do it because. Especially you can't do it in clubs that there's not a lot of people in because the owner gets mad. And it's just because of my experience of playing in clubs with no one there. Or, like Noctambulo, I told you about that the other night. I don't think Tomoko's here tonight. Is Tomoko here tonight? Did anybody see Tomoko's name? No, it's Barry Colstein. There you go. Thank Bo. No, I don't think Tomoko's here tonight. But she and I played. No, she's not. I don't think she's here. She and I played a club called Noctambulo recently down on 2nd Avenue. And we didn't play recently. We played 3 years ago. And we had a month. And in 1 month, we drew 9 people. But were they good people. 9 stalwarts. And I even have a picture of us doing our own version of social distancing. Oh, I have it here. Look, isn't that nice? Here's the picture. You've probably seen it before. That's me, Tomoko, and you know who this is? That's Daryl Sherman. That was the one person who was with us that night. And the gig lives in infamy with all of us because we had such a. I mean, it's not easy to do that, but and because people don't want you back if you don't do business. I know it's a shock to you. That's a shocking revelation. But if you don't do business, they don't want you back. And they'll say, "Oh, that was such a swell set. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, no, no, no. Well, the weather was bad. The sky's falling." Then you never hear from them again. Here's the picture I just found. This is my fave. That's Ron McClure, who wrote a beautiful article the other day about just the stillness of the city with what's going on. Very introspective, beautiful, beautiful article. Very Irish. And that's Gary Peacock in the middle, who is, if you don't know who Gary Peacock is, then you don't know who Gary Peacock is. And there's me on the right, in some very good company. I love that picture. I love it. Eddie Metz is watching. I've got to be careful what I do. I had a request for a song on salamander pie. And it turned out I was just thinking about how I felt in my 20s. When I first came to New York, boy, I didn't fit very well. I was drinking and too much. And I quit very soon after. But this song was written in memory of that time. This will be a lot of yucks. What a joker. What I do. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. I'm completely out of place, like a visitor from outer space. Sometimes I think it's all a big game that everybody plays but me. It's a big conspiracy, everybody in free but me. Now I don't know the rules, they don't tell the rules to fools. So I do the best I can, Lord. I do the best I can. Maybe some sweet day now, things will go my way now. I guess I'll have to wait till then, Lord. I guess I'll have to wait till then. Sometimes the reason for putting up with it now, it ain't so clear to me. Ain't so dear to me. Somebody hear my plea. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. I'm completely out of place. I like a visitor from Mars, come down from the stars. My heat shield burning and my soul pick up the scars. Come down from the moon, living in anticipation of returning to my interstellar station. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. I don't know the rules now, they don't tell the rules to fools now. So I do the best I can, Lord, I do the best I can. Maybe some sweet day now, things will go my way now. I guess I'll have to wait till then, Lord. I guess I'll have to wait till sometimes a reason for putting up with it now, it ain't so clear to me. It ain't so dear to me. somebody hear my plea. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. I'm completely out of place. I like a visitor from Mars, come down from the stars. My heat shield burning and my soul pick up the scars. Come down from the moon, living in the dissipation of returning to my interstellar station. Sometimes I think I got nothing in common with the rest of the human race. Yeah, that was good. I like that. Tomoka, we're listening. I tell her we're going to put that in the book. That's going to go back in the book. We put another one from Salamander Pie on it. It goes. I was in, what was it? Nassau. When I was 18, my mother and father had decided to take a trip. And so I was, one night my mother was sitting with us. She got a little drunk. And started telling me stuff I didn't particularly want to hear. So years later, I wrote this song. Big storm is brewing. The winds are Jamaican. Palm trees are bending. Soon they'll be breaking. The waters are rising. Big wind is blowing. Mama, don't you think we ought to be going? Life on the coast, 50 kilos from Cuba. I'll walk away from my sailboat, my scuba. The storm and your fury are hopelessly blowing. Mama, don't you think we ought to be going? Yes, mama, Daddy's evil. He's got the mind and the spine of a weaver. No, mama, he did not give me a clue. Mama, what's come over you? Yes, mama, Daddy is evil. He's got the mind and the spine of a weaver. No, mama, he did not give me a clue. Mama, what's come over you? The breakers are broken, the jetty's near gone. Starfish are wandering all over the lawn. Storm and your fury dangerously blowing. Mama, don't you think we ought to be? Mama, don't you think we ought to be? Mama, don't you think we ought to be going? Ought to be going. Ought to be going. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh. A friend of mine, Nick Nave, Nahum Nave, and his wife Renee, who is, as I mentioned before, is my partner in crime here in New York. We play at various places around town when she's in town, and we'll be at Studio 54 next year. Studio 54, 54 below. Studio 54 has kind of gone its merry way. And he says that they were at the same place, and they were the only audience for a show with Eric, with what's his name? Eric, Eric's show. Eric. Oh, I can't remember right now. Bill Crow. Chet Baker once apologized to a club owner for not attracting more customers. The boss said, "Don't worry about it. It's Lent, you know." Chet said, "Oh man, are they still making? Are they still making that secret?" Did you ever work with Chet, Bill? Because I never did. Kelly Sill, Jim McCarty, Freddie Shaw, Yuka Mito, Sherry Miracle. Hi, Matthias. Oh, see, they talk behind my back while I'm sitting here struggling for lyrics. They're having a good time. Good, Linda. I'm glad. That's good. Kenny Rampton. What happened to Nick Santamaria? Never responded. Nick, did you respond? Hey, Mike. Did Nick Santamaria ever respond to my lyric plug? I don't know. D minor and D flat have been on my mind and my soul all day long. What do you think the key signatures indicate? D minor and D flat in your mind. You mean the key, the actual tone of them? D minor and D flat, or just the notes themselves, in which case I don't envy you. Linda Yohn says, you'll have to explain further, Ms. Yohn. I'm not sure exactly what it is you mean. So come back next week and we'll talk about it. I don't quite know what's hearing D and D. Oh, there's so many of you lovely people there that I'm not going to spend too much time at this. Got hired by Chet once, but he canceled the gig. Bill Crow says he got hired by Chet once, but he canceled the gig. That's a bummer. Yeah, I got hired by Freddie. Freddie Waits. Freddie the trumpet. Oh, like there's Freddie Carter. No. And he canceled the gig on me too. The famous trumpet player of the 60s, Freddie Hubbard. Freddie Hubbard. And we were going to go someplace, and he said, "No, man, we're not going to go." Boom. So between you and me, Bill, that's why we're still here. We're luck. Anyway, listen, I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to wish you all a good evening. It's just what's it going to be? Oh, before I do, I have to do. Somebody asked for this. They asked me. Let's see if I can remember this. Oh, we crossed the ocean fair in the grand dome of the air. A giant airship built by Oh, there's that. We crossed the ocean fair in the grand dome of the air. A giant airship built by Superman. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Pedal up by only hydrogen. Oh, the transatlantic run is really so much fun. It's the only way to get from here to there. Everything's done right. It's just a perfect flight. This is life without a care. On the Hindenburg, yes, the Hindenburg. Won't you join me, my coquette? It's the Hindenburg, the fabulous Hindenburg. Can you smell the coast? Can you see the coastline yet? Does anyone smell it? Everything about it is first class. Okay. All right, I got to practice. So I'll do something I do. I'm at a loss. Playboy Club in New York City, 1962. Finally living in New York, it's my dream come true. Just moved up from Baltimore, just turned 21. My life has finally begun. The Playboy Club is full of bunnies hopping round all night. Young ladies dressed as bunny rabbits, fluffy tails so white. Their costumes so revealing that no secrets do remain. You play the bass, you slowly go insane. Life around the rabbits ain't as funny as it seems. Soon I find I'm talking to Bugs Bunny in my dreams. All those pretty creatures so close yet so far away. Life gets more confusing day by day. The pressure keeps on building in me as the nights go by. Soon I cannot even look a rabbit in the eye. So I go to a shrinker and start spilling out my guts. He says, son, I think we're going nuts. He says, you need a change of scenery. The Grand Canyon would be nice, but someplace far away from bunnies, drinks, and tingling ice. But it's got to be a better place for you, God only knows. Someplace where the waitresses wear clothes. Tell no one your problem, just pack your bass and quit. Zip that case around the bass, pick it up and split. So I told the leader of the band I really had to go. Packed my car and drove to Mexico. I filled my brain with desert sand and drove up to Pikes Peak. I discovered the Grand Canyon, so I hung out for a week. I wandered around the painted desert and watched the cactus grow. Headed south to Mexico. Playboy Club in New York City, 1962. Fine day living in New York, it's my dream come true. Just moved up from Baltimore, just turned 21. My life has finally begun. My life has finally begun. Well, I want to bid you all a fond farewell for the evening. Take care of yourselves. I'm coming back tomorrow. I got to play that bass, got to sing those songs. If you want to drop in, oh, please. It'd be great to see all of you. Really. I'm enjoying this tremendously, even though it's showing me that I really need to practice more. So I will. I will. See, this is how I'm learning. So I'll say to all the YouTubers, you never heard Mama, Bill. There's a bunch of you haven't heard that I haven't performed yet. Yeah, I'll tell you the story about that later. All right, YouTubers, take it easy. Thanks for dropping in. All 11 of you. There's 11 of you tonight. So 11. Speak to you later. Bye-bye, guys.